Hi guys, it's April with Cricut-Crafting. I wanted to show you guys how to do the floating ornaments. Everybody's been asking me how to do that. Here is a shared file that I have for the inserts that go inside these ornaments. It's design number 47770894. So you can find that in Design Space by going there or clicking on this link, and I will provide it down below with the other links for anything else that might be needed to create this project. You'll see here this group of gray ones. The reason I have this here is the transparencies. I buy these from the office supply or off of eBay, where I get like 100 for 20 bucks, 25 bucks. I don't know if they've gone up since I've purchased them. But you get 4 to a sheet on the 8.5 by 11. These are for 4-inch round or disc ornaments. If you're using smaller ornaments, yes, you can get more per sheet, but this is the layout in order to get them out of the small sheet of transparency. These two on this side, the white ones, these are for print and cut. Right now they're showing for cut, and they will until we get our image and place it on there to flatten it. And the reason that they're white is because white is not a printable color. It doesn't print, and therefore this will leave the background clear. If you're doing the printables, you cannot use the same transparency that you use for these. I don't recommend using the computer graphics for these because it's much more expensive. It's like $7 a pack for 6 sheets. But it's called Computer Graphics. I'll leave you the link to that. I get mine at Home Depot. I use a 40% off coupon, so I end up getting 6 sheets for less than 5 bucks. But you have to have those for an inkjet printer. It's called Computer Graphics, GRAFIX, I believe. And it is the transparency without the sticky on it. It's just printable transparencies. So you will need those for this. We're going to do both. I am not going to cut this portion of the file when I cut it because I already have an extra one cut. I will be doing this one here, so I'm just going to be printing one and showing you guys that. I'll move over to my camera away from my screen when we get to that portion. So the first thing you want to do is to go to upload an image. If you have an image on your computer that you want to use, then that's wonderful. If not, then you'll need to do that or select an image from the image file. Now the one that's in the photo, the purple one that everybody's crazy about, that is a clip art. If you search for a purple butterfly, you should be able to find that because I just Googled it and found it. But for today, so that everybody has a way to do the print and cut, we're just going to look for one out of Design Space. And I believe that there's one that comes out really well on the print and cut in here. This one I uploaded by searching butterfly. This one will work. Let's see. I know he's in here. We'll just search till we find one that we like. I want to make sure it's not something I uploaded. There is the purple one that I uploaded. I can use that for today's purposes just so you can see. I'll select it and insert it. But I found that on Google. That's the one that's in the photo that everybody likes so well. This one is also a print and cut. This will probably come out well because of the darker color. And so is this one. I really don't want to have to pay for one, but I would. Here we go. I've already purchased this one. You may have to purchase it, but it is in Design Space. It's M25BEEB. It's the Aqua Butterfly from Anna's Vintage Butterflies. And we'll use that one. It comes out pretty well in there. So I'm going to insert those because I think I can get 2 of them. And these uploaded images, sometimes it will bog it down, so you have to be patient. And it may or may not even upload that other one that I had in Design Space 3. It's trying. There it is. Woo. And that's why they come in so large. Let's scale that down. And you're going to, this is going to be the top of the ornament, of course, with the little tail on it. So you'll want to scale to fit on these. And you can do them small and duplicate, or however you want to do yours. And that looks good there. So I'm going to select that, select the other, and then I'm going to, they move flatten to the bottom, I'm going to flatten it. Now that's going to print, and then it's just going to cut the outside edges instead of cutting the butterfly out of the, if you just attach it, it's just going to cut the butterfly out of this, and then it's going to cut this shape around it. You don't want to do that. Then I have this one, I'll do two, just to show you guys. Let's tilt him that way. And you can do this with a photo. I've done it with photos, family members, for memory, keepsakes. Just remember, the transparency is going to be a lot lighter and see-through. Sometimes the image has a tendency not to be seen unless you put it on a light background. You can print two identical, put them together to darken the image. So if you want to do that, but again, you would just flatten that at that point, and create the same thing I have here. But just to make it darker, to show you guys what I mean, I think I'm going to let that butterfly go. Let me undo that because I do want to keep my image. And I'm going to duplicate this one. And don't forget to flip it. And flip it vertical, I think. Yes. That way I've got one going one way. That way when I rotate this piece around, they will line up. If you don't flip it, it's not going to work. It will. You could probably stack it. But one side of this transparency where you print is rough and one side is smooth. I like to put the two rough sides together when I do this, just so that if it scrapes going into the ornament, it won't scratch off the ink that I just printed. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hide all of this other stuff for now so that I can send these to the printer and not have an issue. And I'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes after I've got these ready, printed and ready, and we'll switch over to the camera from the screen. And I shall return. Okay guys, I'm back. This is the computer graphics film that I was telling you about that I get from Hobby Lobby. You can get it online at Amazon. I will supply a link if you don't want to go to a Hobby Lobby or you don't have one near you. But this is the stuff that I use. It is clear, and you get, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's for inkjet. You get 6 8.5 by 11 sheets. It doesn't have anything on the back of it. It's completely clear. I've already printed one and I've put it on my mat. My Cricut, I'm going to knock on wood, my Cricut cuts with my transparency straight on the mat. I normally 99.9% of the time do not have an issue. In the one chance that I do, you can slip a piece of paper under those registration marks to help it read, and it will read it. There's also another trick that I have used in the past when I had an issue, and I print another copy on copy paper. That copy paper, I just slide under it, line it up, and then I put a strip of adhesive from one of my tape runners on each side here, not to get into the area where it's going to cut, because if you'll notice, you don't see the ornament on there. Like I said, white doesn't print, so it's only printed the butterflies, but it's going to cut the ornament shape. But just get you some adhesive just on the sides, over here, maybe at the top, and then stick the transparency onto top of it and stick it onto your mat. And that should work too. I'm going to try to cut mine right now without doing that, so my machine is just off camera. I'm right here at the camera. But you guys can get your things together there if you're following along. And I'm sending it over to see if it's going to cut. I have a few things in the way here where I was working on another project, but I was running late. My dog dug up my garden and I had to repair it. But this is a very good project. It can be used for any day. You can put these in an ornament and flip these around, print them upside down, and turn that ornament upside down into wreaths. There are a number of uses for it year-round. So it's a very easy project to do. You're going to be surprised how easy and how fast this is. Now, if you prefer, like I was telling you, the gray templates for the regular, you can cut any image out of vinyl, like the outline of a butterfly, and then you can color in the areas. You can use just colored vinyl and layer it on those transparencies. Then you're going to insert them and do the same thing with this. So whatever you want to stick to those, just cutting the transparency itself, it'll just be a blank piece. You can add anything you want on it. It does not have to be printable vinyl when you're doing that. You can use the cheap stuff. And it appears that my Cricut is cutting mine without any aid at all. I am in a well-lit room. I don't know. I always keep the lint cleaned off of the eye underneath. That's also a big help. And as you can see right here, mine printed and cut without anything under it. Perfectly fine. Left me a little tiny corner there. I'll just pull right off. And then I'm going to lift this. And that is not a new mat. It's not very sticky. You can see that I've had to tape some heavier cardstocks to it. But this is one of my first mats. But there are my transparencies. Let me grab that ornament. I'm going to do this on a round just because that's what I have handy. I could fish out the, let me see if I can get that to keep from rolling on something. I usually have a toilet paper tissue thing to hold it, but since I don't have that here, we'll just use a roll of washi tape, and that's going to allow it to sit up on its end and not roll around on you. And the first thing you want to do is to remove the top. Some people like to wrap theirs around a pencil. They like to do several things. Now, I told you there was a rough side and a smooth side, and we're going to put the two rough sides together. And you can do that and give that the fluttered effect and make it darker. You'll have to line those up, make sure that they line up well, like that. They do have a chance to separate unless you put a tiny drop of glue or tape or something to hold them. But we're just going to do the one today. I take mine and roll this with my fingers touching the smooth side. You want to make sure that your hands are clean and free of grease when you do this, or oils. And you'll want to be gentle so that you don't, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Smooth side, you want to roll to the smooth side. That way if it digs or scratches, it won't scratch where you printed. And you're just going to get a tight roll on it with this tip staying out. Let me bring that onto camera. This tip is the top part here is sticking out, and I've rolled it with the rough side to the outside, and I'm gently placing it in. I'm still going to keep hold of it until it gets almost in, and I drop it. And there it is inside. I then turn it upside down, and don't clip all of that off. You want to be able to get it in case you want to change something, and just snip off that top edge so that it's even with the ornament. Let me move this out of the way so that you guys can see that. And then you can add any type of beads or glitter or anything in there that you guys might want to make it pop just a little bit more. Let's see. I think I'll do some of these ivory ones maybe. Have some beads here. And you'll want to make sure that you get some to the front and some to the back, because that's what's going to allow it to look floating. But you'll want to have some of the beading on both sides of the ornament, like that. Then you can simply replace the cap. And they are soft aluminum, so sometimes you have to work with them and bend them back out. And this one looks like it wants to give me a problem. And that's how soft they are, so still got one inside. And then you just press them back down. Then you'll add your ribbon or whatever decor that you want to add to the top of it around the neck here. You can hot glue on a bow, put a large bow on there. I usually put a decorative hook. I have some decorative Christmas hooks and things that can also be found on Amazon on the top of that in order to give that as a gift. Like I said, the transparencies do not show as darkly as your vinyl. So if you want a less expensive route, buy the overhead projector sheets. You can get hundreds of sheets for about $20. You can get 4 to a sheet. That'll do 400 ornaments. So that's pretty inexpensive, and then you know that the cost of vinyl is just pennies per square inch. So doing the vinyl ornaments is a lot less expensive than the printed, but if you want to do these printed for memorials with pictures, make sure you have a good printer. Make sure you use the highest print quality, and that's going to give you a darker image, the higher the print quality. But that's all there is to that ornament. I thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, please jump on over and join us. I'll provide all the links. You guys have a wonderful crafting day, and thank you for joining me today. Please like the videos. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm back. You just thought I was going somewhere. I did, while I was away, went ahead and cut my butterfly from the foil. I promised to show you guys some of these that I had done previously with vinyl. Here is one that I did on vinyl for someone for Christmas, and their ornament was busted, but they still had the insert, so I told them I would repair it, and that's where my disc ornament comes in. So I can show you these will still fit, they will still work. I roll these, as you can see, with some vinyls, they are a silver on the back where they are a color on the front. To me, that doesn't matter. It gives it a different effect. But I do roll it smooth side in so that the vinyl's to the outside. So if that edge catches on it, it won't lift the vinyl. And just roll it tight. Insert it into the ornament, holding that front part. And it's a little trickier with the discs because they don't have as much room to pop open. But if you'll jiggle them, they'll go right in there. Then you'll fill them with beads, which I have the beads over there. They saved those, but I've got to get them in a funnel where I can move them around. And then I'll place the bow back on there, and that ornament will be repaired. But that is one of the 4-inch disc ornaments. These inserts work for those as well. That was cut from the same one. And then I have just my blank transparency. You guys probably can barely see that. This is overhead projector material. Let me see. I said 100 sheets is what I got, but this is actually what I purchased. And I got this for $11 is what I got that for. And it says that you can print on it directly from the inkjet. These are like this. They have this on there, but that does peel off. So you can get those for printables. And I apologize, these were not 11. These were the $20, but I got 50 sheets on that. Then I purchased these for $11. And they're just in a, I don't know, generic type box. this is what it is. It says for plain copiers, it's clear. So, I mean, if you have a plain copier that's laser, it says that it'll work for inkjet and everything. I have not tried it, but I paid $11 for this and got 100 sheets, and I use these for my vinyl. I might, at one point, get brave enough to try to print on them, but for now, I have not tried it, so I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you I haven't tried it, even though they said that I could on that box. I got those off of eBay just on a fluke sale. And this is on the Cricut adhesive foil. I'm not using any transfer tape to pull this up. It's just a single image, and it cut well. I did try to start weeding it, and I'm like, that's going to take forever. So I'm pulling that off, and I've got two little spots there that didn't come out. Some people call that reverse weeding, or I just do whatever's easiest for me. And there's one right there. And I'm just going to get that off of there real quick. Well, I say quick. I don't want it to stick to the back, which it did, because that'll show through on the other side. There we go. Doesn't want to turn loose. There it is. Alright, so I have my butterfly off of my foil, and this is off of, I believe, Anna's Garden Embellishments, this particular butterfly. And there's also a print and cut on this if you were lucky enough to get one of her HSN, and I think it was extra content. This butterfly comes in a print and cut. And I made it a little bit big, but oh, it'll fit. It'll fit fine. And if you do have some places, I believe with this transparency, you could still weed. Yeah, it will let me. I'm not really worried about that. But as you know, the adhesive vinyl is not the same color on the back as the front. This will give you a different, oh, I apologize, I just bumped the camera tripod. It'll give you two looks, so the front or the back of that ornament, and that's what I was saying before. It shows up a little bit better than the printed transparencies, even though that is a really good look. It's a cool look. You can do foils, you can do any color vinyls in just the same manner. Roll it up with a tight roll, insert it in, hold that tail, and then you're just going to trim it off, add sequins, beads, whatever you need. Like I said, I only trim off what's sticking out, because if I need to take that out, I can still get that out if something's wrong or I need to adjust or fix anything. That's why you want that tail on there. Otherwise, and also it helps to keep it from flopping back and falling to the bottom of the ornament, because this is round. You don't have to worry about that with the disc, but with the round ones, if you cut that off too far, it can lay down sideways down into there. So if you're looking for that kind of look where it will move up, down, sideways to the bottom, then go ahead and cut it off. But that is all that there is to doing the vinyl. And that concludes the video, really, this time. So if you didn't subscribe before when I told you to subscribe, please go subscribe and like the videos. You guys have a wonderful crafting time, and thank you for joining me.